Wow. Hey, hello. Boy, I still love that Axel Taylor soundtrack that he gave us. Check out more of his music on SoundCloud. It's got the little siren at the end. That's exciting. Hello, SOBs, and welcome to the Stream of Blood and today's episode of Vampires of Pittsburgh Lockdown. I am your storyteller, game master, impresario, Mr. Jared Logan, and this is our Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition actual play here on Twitch, on the Stream of Blood, a channel that does all kinds of role-playing games, but usually they involve lots of character death and making a bloody mess all over your character sheet. I'm so excited that we're back here for more Vampires of Pittsburgh. We had a brief tangent, a brief detour into the world of the Inquisitors last week. Hopefully that has helped to increase the threat, the feeling of panic and oppression that has filled our fictional city of Pittsburgh. I keep saying that our 2020 here in the game is even worse than the 2020 that you are actually living through. But the good news is that when you make 2020 worse than it is in the real world, it actually swings back around and becomes fun again. That's the whole concept behind Vampires of Pittsburgh Lockdown. I'm not going to waste any time because we always have a lot of game to get to, and these guys usually do something that makes me throw away all of my notes. So let's just introduce our players. You can see an upcoming video from him on how to make better RPG characters in our Stream of Blood YouTube channel. He's an actor, an improviser, and just an extremely talented artist who we are always happy to have on board here at the Stream of Blood, playing Curtis Krieger. Please welcome Ross Bryant, everybody. Ross. Oh, there he is. Hello, sir.
Oh, hi. Fancy seeing you here.
Yes.
Thank you for that introduction. You caught me reading The Monster, Beru Cormorant.
The Beru Cormorant series. Yes, I am familiar. Yes.
Yeah, I think it was you or maybe Humphrey who recommended these books to me, and I just started reading them like a couple weeks ago, and I love them. Or I'm just started book 2, and it's
They're
great.
incredible, right?
Yeah, such great. Not so far. There's nothing fantastical about it at this point. It's just like an alternate history almost, but it is like, I feel like if anybody watching is fans of Vampire the Masquerade, this has some of the same DNA, because it's built around a lot of like social manipulation and intrigue and tension and suspense.
Yeah, guys, I can't recommend those books highly enough. I've heard them described as hard fantasy. You know how there's soft sci-fi and hard sci-fi. Hard fantasy because there's not a lot of magical spells or dragons or anything like that. But it's a really kind of realistic alternate world with all, it's about colonialism, a lot of it.
It's about colonialism. It's dealing with some deep stuff, but it also, maybe just because I'm in the middle of the Dune series too, like it has some Dune in it, in that it has this full fleshed out world with a lot of political machinations going on. But I feel like this, unlike Dune, really gets into the nitty gritty of the interpersonal relationships in a way that Dune goes that, or the depth of those characters. I feel like the people in Dune are already so evolved from current humanity that they're a little inaccessible.
Yes.
and these are very much people with flesh and blood and desire.
Absolutely. So yes, also if you like Dune, I think you'll love Beru Cormorant. You heard it here, folks. Go out and read those books. We're giving free advertising to our friend Seth Dickinson and his series of novels. And now I'm going to bring our next player and see what novel that she's ready to recommend to us. We're so happy to have her back here in the bloody womb that we call the Stream of Blood. Why did I make it a womb? That wasn't necessary. She's a talented actress, voice actress. You could see her on Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet, and she plays Jen Brown. Please welcome Ashley Burch, everybody.
# welcome to the womb.
It feels nice in here. It's more.
Why would you leave?
Why would I leave? I love Beru Cormorant. I think
man, yeah.
Humphrey recommended it to me. I wonder if it was Humphrey.
Yeah. I think he's been spreading the gospel.
He has been spreading the gospel. Not to do another 15 on that book series, but
I know.
great.
Sorry to turn this into book club.
I loved it. I'm so excited though because Humphrey's the only other person that's read it. So
this will be fun because when we bring Abu in, we can be like, "You haven't read it? You haven't?"
I can really make him feel alone.
Yeah. Let's do that now. This guy, it's 10 p.m. where he is coming to us live all the way from the United Kingdom, an incredible actor talent who has done voices in video games, and you can see him on Raised by Wolves. So happy to have him. Please welcome Abu Salim as Lucius Ali, everybody. Hello.
Hi. Sorry, you caught me doing my Rubik's Cube.
Casual 10 p.m. Rubik's
at a
Cube.
10 p.m. Rubik's Cube,
I think Humphrey recommended
Rubik's Cube. He did. He did. That's why I was doing anyway. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
That's going to be tough now, Abu, because every time we bring you in, you're going to have a different puzzle.
Oh, God. I'll say it now.
You just found me doing my finger trap, everybody.
I'm having to remove this iron ring from a horseshoe.
Guys, I'm so happy you're here. Why don't we hop right in with a little bit of a recap? I need this as much as you do. Let's see. The Vampires of Pittsburgh are in a spot of trouble, everybody, after the disastrous events of episode 30 or 31 in our original series. Much of the city of Pittsburgh has been put under a lockdown by ostensibly the Inquisition, who has come in under the auspices of keeping control of the population during the COVID pandemic, and are now conducting a systematic purge of the vampires in the city of Pittsburgh. If that wasn't bad enough, our coterie had split into many different corners of the region, but recently Curtis Krieger found an old message in his Grouper app, Grouper being the company that was originally owned and CEO'd by Jen Brown, a message saying from Jen Brown saying, "Curtis, I need you come back." Curtis and his two human associates, Brad Lockwood, the ghoul drug dealer, and Craig, his old army buddy, headed back into the city and had a brief, violent, but ultimately positive encounter with a mysterious stranger, a doctor, and activist and vampire who was searching Pittsburgh for his sire. That is Abu's character, Lucius Ali. Lucius was being attacked by men in hazmat suits who were burning down a nightclub after he got in a fight with another vampire, and Brad and Curtis and Craig stepped in and rescued him. They took him to the location they were all headed to, a theater in the Squirrel Hill neighborhood of Pittsburgh. There they found some members of the old Anarch gang that had been scattered to the four winds by the battle at the end of our last season. So they found Thana there, the Nosferatu, Dylan, the mortal human gutter punk gal, and Circe, the kind of witch-like punk vampire who used to run with the Anarchs, led by Jen and Curtis Krieger. And those characters revealed to Curtis that Jen had been in torpor for almost the entire year that Curtis had been out of Pittsburgh. Lucius, knowing how to properly revive someone, gave her a little bit of his potency to blood. This brought Jen back to life, but right at that moment, they were attacked. They were attacked by a party of Nosferatu and ghouls that had a particular human among them, someone helping to kind of organize them. It was Sabrina. Sabrina being Jen Brown's best friend, who eventually got ghouled to the Nosferatu because of, well, choices were made. Then in our last session, to recap that, our players found themselves running from the Inquisition because the fight with the Nosferatu and the ghouls had brought the Inquisition down on the theater. They had to find a new haven quickly. They ended up in a tanning salon, of all places, blocks away, where they decided to kind of like talk to each other, get each other's temperature, find out what their next move was. And it turned out that was feeding. Everybody was quite hungry, except for Lucius, who seems to be able to keep his hunger down. What's his technique? Maybe we'll find out at some point. But Jen Brown and Curtis Krieger used Dylan's, I can't believe I'm about to say this, Postmates account.
I forgot about this.
Yes. To get into the apartment of a man nearby, a mortal nearby, and Lucius helped them. Luckily, Lucius had the appropriate disciplines to sort of lull the man into, a sense of trust and confidence in their actions. They took him back into his bedroom and they fed on him. Jen Brown actually ended up kind of frenzying a little bit. I guess she, being in torpor for a year will make you that thirsty. But they did escape unscathed without doing too much damage. They ended up not murdering the individual, and his kids were none the wiser. But they made a bit of a mess of his place. They also got some computer parts that Jen needed to kind of get her system back up and running. Because as we all know, Jen Brown is nothing without her computers and her ability to hack and surf the World Wide Web. And so once she had her system back up and running, Jen Brown did a little research on your opponent, specifically the Camarilla, because that's who Lucius is interested in. His sire is this Archon that has been brought in by the Camarilla to try to restore order during this lockdown situation. He's hunting her. Meanwhile, Jen has a vested interest in getting Sabrina back to the side of the angels, or at least out from under the heel of the Nosferatu and Miss Sonia. Curtis, he likes to be liked, and he's a loyal soldier. So they were researching the Camarilla, and the things that they found out were, it looks like Grouper, the company that Sabrina is now in charge of, bought some property on a place called Washington's Landing. And the group, your coterie, theorized that perhaps that is where the Nosferatu are hiding out, or where the new headquarters of the Camarilla might be. As we know, the U.S. Steel Building is no more after events earlier in our saga. And they also found out that Sabrina was carefully monitoring any kind of chatter online about the Pittsburgh Water and Sewage Authority. And she specifically had a lot of emails about a water treatment plant on the Allegheny River nearby. And so I gave everybody a glimpse of maybe something terrible or awful, something covered in blood and mucus crawling around in that place. But your characters don't know about that. So remember to, role play accordingly. And I will open the scene here in our tanning salon, and I will allow you all of the NPCs are there if you want to talk to any of them. Oh, but two aren't, actually. You guys also sent, this is important, you sent Dylan and Craig to go and check out the camp that the Inquisition has opened in Sheenley Park. So they have gone off to do that. And in fact, I'm going to make a roll about that while you guys decide what your next move is.
Oh boy.
Let's assume that Jen Brown, if you are sharing the intel you've gotten, you have just told Lucius and Curtis what you've learned.
Yes, I would say that I'd be sharing that information, yeah. So what do you think? Is it worth surveying the water plant? I don't have any information about what she's looking for, but she's obviously interested in this place. It has to be relevant to the Camarilla somehow.
I mean, if it's the sort of place where you can avoid the sun, then who knows what could be over there. I mean, all I'm saying is if we go to check it out, it should probably be done cautiously.
Right. We don't really have much of we don't have much backup anymore, right? We don't have like any of our muscle boys. It's Thana and the True Believers, basically, right?
Yeah, let me show you. Actually, maybe our secret storyteller Clinton Trucks can show you who is backing you up. You've been having trouble with Circe, who has who's kind of told you to fuck off and gotten really kind of a hungry when she's been around Craig and some of the other mortals. But she's ostensibly available to you. You sent Dylan off on this mission with Craig to go and find to go and find out what's happening at that camp. So they're not available right now. There's Dylan, and Craig, of course, is also off on that mission as well. Awesome. You do have Brad Lockwood, the drug dealer who's addicted to Curtis's Vitae. And you've got there's Brad.
That's what Brad looks like.
That's what Brad looks like, bro. Hell yeah, motherfucker.
Better than
those sunglasses.
You've got him, and you've got Thana, the Nosferatu woman, who is a real true believer in the cause. The mystical aspects of the vampire world. Yeah, there she is.
Oh,
she's Nosferatu, so remember, they don't really appear human.
Right.
And she's really got those nose fingers, doesn't she?
Sure does.
But she seems to have been giving you a little bit of a headache, in fact, because she doesn't feel maybe that you're following the prophecies of Mary, following the kind of the spiritual practices that she believes will lead to success in all of this. But you can talk to her as well, and they all might have information for you. Oh, and then of course there's Clara, and we need to get an image of Clara, but that is Lucius's sister, who is along with him, and Clara is there and available as well.
Okay. Well,
relate to me again. What are the what did you find? You found there's a shipyard?
It's a water and power plant, and my friend Sabrina, who's under the thrall of the Camarilla, she's been monitoring it.
Right.
Shipments coming in and out. So it's relevant to them in some way. I don't know if they're trying to bring something in that can help them or get themselves out of the city somehow, but she's been paying a lot of attention to this place.
That's correct. But when you look closely, if anybody would like to give me, if you look closely at the data Jen brings up for you, if anybody would like to give me an intelligence plus science roll, I can tell you more.
So how do we do this again? It's 3. So for example, like my intelligence is 3 and the science is, oh Lord, where's my science?
It's on the far right side, the far right column under your skills.
Okay, +2. So you add that to the dice pool, right?
That's right. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then make sure that you say that you have 1 hunger die, because you have 1 hunger right now.
Yeah.
Do all of us have 1 hunger?
I think actually you only got yourselves down to like 2 or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're at 2.
Okay. And then 3 successes.
Oh, you got 3 successes. Well, that's more than enough. And so I'll say that when Lucius looks closely, he sees that what Jen Brown is actually getting. So it's a water treatment plant connected to the Pittsburgh Water and Sewage Authority. And you see that you're carefully monitoring. She's carefully monitoring this extra water runoff alerts, like when there's a lot of extra water that comes in through rain or something, the sewage will sometimes kind of get mixed with the water and be kind of jetted out into the Allegheny River. So she's been keeping track of those alerts and a lot of technical stuff that has to do with civic engineering and plumbing. So it's just to be, so there were, things about shipments and business, but there's a lot of stuff about the ins and outs of keeping the water clean in Pittsburgh.
Interesting. It looks like the information that they're keeping track of doesn't seem to want me to believe that they want to get out. Rather, more so staying in. That's right? The idea of if they're going to keep track of whether the water is clean in Pittsburgh, I would think that they are more interested in staying in rather than trying to find a way of escaping.
That's right. Yeah, that makes sense. So it sounds like the Camarilla aren't leaving. They're they've got some kind of new operation going there. I think is a reasonable assumption.
Yeah. Looks like they're just tracking the water levels, which makes me think that there's something down there that they don't want submerged.
What do you think?
Well, I think we should go and have a look.
Okay.
And then I turn to Jen and I'm like, hey, assuming she's there and you're fine, Sabrina, assuming We can grab her and bring her back here. I mean, what's next? They're going to come for her. And I might say this, like, try to break off solo, just the two of us. Be like, look, it's hard out there, but it's not as hard as here. If you find her, I mean, we could find a way to get out of here. Run away from all this.
Yeah. There's nothing for us here anymore. But I have to get her out, Curtis. I can't leave her here with them.
All right.
As she says that, I think that what we need to, what I need to bring in as the storyteller is that you have all just risen. Let's say it's the night after you fed on that gentleman, and Jen did her research. She's just presenting it to you. So I want a rouse roll from everybody, because when you rose from your slumber, you all need to find out whether you get hungry or not. A rouse roll is just a 1d10, Abu, and you see if it's a success or not. If it's not, you add 1 to your hunger.
Okay, so just roll 1 die in the die pool, right?
That's right.
Okay.
How'd you do?
I didn't do well, man.
You failed.
Yeah, I failed.
Okay.
I love how this dice roller that we use really dunks on you. Like when you don't, it's just a total failure.
Serious.
That's not necessary.
For rubbing salt in my wound website.
Your hunger goes up to 2, Lucius Ali, and so whenever you roll any die roll, make sure that you say that you have a hunger of 2 in that die roll. Okay. And how did the others do?
I also got hungrier. I'm now at hungry 3.
Oh shit! I'm still at 2.
Okay, that's lucky.
Yeah.
So you can head out to the water treatment plant if you'd like now, but just keep in mind where your hunger is at, and let me know if you want to do something about that, because you guys know it can quickly get out of hand if you don't keep an eye on it.
Can I ask a question about the way vampires work? Now,
yes.
Now,
ask me anything.
As Curtis has learned, if you suck a human almost dry and then give them your blood, they are embraced. They undergo the change and become vampires themselves.
Yes.
But it seems that like vampires also will occasionally keep mortals around, and through persuasion or relationships of some kind can just feed on them and keep them around almost as like a source of food. So since Brad Lockwood is sucking me on the regular, can I suck him without vampirizing him? Unless he's.
So there's something odd about that, and this is me just doing a little bit of logicking on my own, which is if you are feeding him blood, which causes you have to make a rouse roll each time you do that, and then feeding off of him, it's almost like you are putting meat in a blender, and then it's like you're just recycling. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so
if I did one and then the other, it would just come out even.
I'm gonna rule as your storyteller, and there might even be something about this in the books. You can't do that if you are using someone as a ghoul. Their blood. Well, let's call it feeding on them.
Sorry.
You're gonna offend the vampires who are watching, but no, you cannot. No, you cannot, because it won't give you sustenance. You're essentially taking your own vitae out of their veins, and that's already part of you. So
I guess like unless you were feeding them much less than you were feeding on them. But yeah, makes sense to me. Okay.
It's like it's like water. If you just had to filter it a bunch of times, you know what I mean? Like it's going to get weaker and weaker and eventually give you no sustenance at all.
Right.
Clint just said in the chat, it's like drinking your pee, diminishing returns.
Right. It'd be like drinking your urine after running it through a Brita filter.
But your skin might be clearer. I'm just saying.
You know how the first time you drink your pee, it's awesome.
Oh,
like you
great.
We're all saying the same thing. But the second time, it's just okay,
Well, I'm glad we had this digression. Okay, I will look at Brad Lockwood and into Curtis's eyes. I just see like the throb of his neck, and I'm just like, but I can't do it. And
you get that look in your eye, Kurt.
Yeah,
you need it fixed, buddy. But you know I'm not the one to give it to you anymore.
You still got any contacts in town, Brad?
You had me look into some criminal sources.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I told you I can set up a meet. Absolutely.
Seems like the kind of thing that I just kind of look at Jen and I'm like, might be able to slake our thirst.
Look, Curtis. I'm gonna kind of give Brad a glance. I don't know if this is the smartest idea right now.
We don't know what we're about to walk into, and I personally would like to walk into it a little less tense. Come on.
I seem to remember that you have a way with animals. I know it's not going to be as satisfying, but it requires less trust in someone that I don't know is very trustworthy.
All right. Are you suggesting that we feed on animals?
Yeah, you could call a rat or something.
Yeah. I mean, we've established that gets a little bit, but not.
Oh, it doesn't do much. It doesn't do much.
It won't take you down even just one hunger?
It will. I think it will. Let me double check. But yeah, it will. It will take away a little bit of hunger.
What time of day is it? It's night right now, right?
I would say dusk has just fallen.
Okay.
So there's even still a little light in the sky, but not enough to hurt a vampire.
Okay.
There's no direct sunlight right now.
Okay. Okay.
Let's instead of going to too much trouble to with all of this, let's just say let's solve it with one roll. Let's see how you do with one roll. And it sounds like you usually use animalism, don't you?
That's right. Feral whispers.
So for a medium animal, you'll be able to sate one hunger. So why don't you just give me a feral whispers roll? And hey, Kurt, you're ordering a snack for the whole crew.
Yeah.
Okay. Circe can take care of herself. Fauna can take care of herself. Lucius is free to partake if he likes. Actually, Lucius. Well, I'm not gonna answer for Lucius how he likes to feed. But the two of you can go ahead and slake your hunger on whatever shows up. So go ahead and give me that roll. Give me that animalism roll. Do you know what it is?
Charisma plus animalism. Yeah.
That is correct, sir.
All right. 2 successes.
2 successes is enough that eventually, like a group of like 3 rats like skitters into the tanning salon. And this tanning salon is still in pretty good condition, so they're very noticeable immediately. They kind of like squeeze in through the boarded up door and they kind of move along the baseboard over toward Curtis. 3 big, plump, juicy rats.
So let me just say that, Curtis kind of has been studying this with Mary, right? So he's assumed like a little bit of almost like a lotus sort of posture with his eyes kind of rolled back, and these rats are like coming out of the wall and the air vents and just kind of like climbing up his body and like Willard, and maybe and putting out just like he has to put it in like rat language, so it's like. The meat is here, home, warm. And then when the big one kind of like gets on his shoulder, Curtis's reverie just ends, and it's just like.
Clara looks at Lucius and is like, "Jesus, Luce."
I know, disgusting.
No manners at all.
Absolutely not.
So Jen Brown, are you partaking of this fine repast?
Oh yeah. I can't say no to a big juicy rat.
Great. You each may slake 1 hunger, and that's by dividing all 3 of the rats among yourselves.
I'm not partaking in this.
Right. No, I'm saying just Jen and no, I wouldn't expect you to. Just Jen and Curtis have to divide 3 big rats in order to get 1 hunger slake.
So, yeah, like Curtis like tosses one of the rats away and is like holding up one by the tail to you, like, huh?
It's good.
Hey, you're lost.
Oh God.
I also want to say that it's vile. It's vile to you because both of you have tasted human blood recently, and it's like having to it's like having to eat vomit. Okay, so it smells bad. It smells dirty. You feel dirty when you're done, but you have slaked one hunger. And so, what would you like to do now?
Want to see if we can do some recon surveillance on this water treatment plant?
Yes, and actually, before we do that, I might pull Curtis aside and say, like, what do we do about them? The rest of them. Look, I'm not under any. I'm well aware that I fucked up. I don't assume that they're following either of us anymore. But they're here. And I feel responsible for them. I don't know what to do with them.
I mean, it looks to me like they can take care of themselves. What, you want to bring them with us?
No, but if we catch heat, we can't come back here.
No.
It's true. Or it's a reasonable thing to assume.
Should we tell them or should we just go?
I mean, they're running around doing who knows what. I mean, do we want to be specific about what we're doing? So if they're caught, they know what we were doing?
I'll tell Thana that we're going to try to find Mary. And I'll leave it at that.
Interesting. Okay, you tell her that?
Yeah, I'm going to tell Thana that we got a lead on something. We think we might be able to. We think if we track it and we're smart about it, that we might be able to find Mary.
She's like, let me go with you. Let me help.
No, Thana. You have to take care of everyone here. You're such a good caretaker. So comforting to.
She actually is. She looks like one of the creatures from Salem's Lot, but she is a good caretaker. You do know that about her. And she's like, be careful. Dylan hasn't returned. Craig has not returned. I'm worried.
Were we expecting them back by now?
Presumably? I think that it's reasonable to assume because. Yeah.
Right, they went in the daytime.
They went during the daytime. Where are they?
Okay. I assume that everyone still has phones, right? And Curtis has his phone and stuff like that. Could we
you guys have phones. Yeah, absolutely.
Could we try to contact her?
Certainly. Are you using the Grouper app or are you just giving like kind of a text?
I guess a text. I feel like Grouper is compromised.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just tell me what you are texting to her.
You up? I don't know. ETA? Question mark?
No answer. After let's say a half hour passes. So I want to know, are we moving to the water treatment plant or are we going to follow this line of investigation instead? And I also would ask Lucius specifically, if they start chasing after this camp and their friends who have gone to investigate it and haven't come back, is Lucius at all interested in that?
If it will lead me towards the Camarilla, then absolutely. I think what I've realized is that the Camarilla seems to enjoy coming up to this group and finding ways of interacting with this group. So I feel like sticking with them is a good idea. However, I look to Clara and I say to her that if things go awry, I need you to find a way out of this Pittsburgh, whatever the hell we are at the moment.
I can get a car.
Good. And just get far. because I have a feeling that our luck might be running out quite quickly.
I'm not going anywhere without you.
Oh, don't be so ridiculous. If it gets dangerous, run.
You're such an idiot, you know that? I come with you halfway across the world. I risk my life for you.
I know.
And then you're like, if I don't come back, go off without me, live your life.
Yes.
No, I'm in this with you till the end.
All right. Well, let's go get into some trouble then.
Great. Where are we going? You know, you could cross your fingers and hope that Dylan and Craig are going to show up at some point, or you could go to the water treatment plant, or you could go and look into go to the camp where they were kind of snooping around.
I'm so worried about Dylan.
Curtis, your friend, your
I'm like
army buddy hasn't returned. How confident are you right now?
And I assume I've texted him as well with no answer.
Yeah, I think you have. Yes, no answer.
Oh
no.
We've actually lost him as well. We've got no answer for him as well.
Dropping like flies.
Oh, I didn't realize. I was like just waiting for him to answer.
Oh, there you
go. That's okay.
Like, you realize, huh?
Yeah, no answer. So
okay. Oh, fuck. Well, if they've been if something's happened.
Oh.
This could be disastrous for us, everybody.
To us.
Are you okay, Ross?
For a second, Ross.
Yeah.
So what did you say?
Yeah, what did you just say? Sorry.
If something happened, then it could be terrible for us. So I'm
you want to go?
I wouldn't mind checking on him.
Of course. Fuck.
Clara gives Lucius a look like this is a bad idea.
This is terrible.
Because what you guys do know is that the camp is probably the Inquisition. It's probably hunters, not the Camarilla, not who you are here to investigate and track down. But if Lucius is willing to throw in with you guys, you could definitely use him.
Shit. I'm going to turn to Lucius and say, look, you've helped us a lot. You don't have to come. But I have a feeling if this were Clara, you would have left already. So you see where we're coming from. I'm not going to let them. I'm not going to go to that fucking water plant without checking on them first. I need to know they're all right.
Okay. Fine.
My responsibility, okay.
Yeah. I seem to be helping your responsibility a lot right now.
You don't have to fucking go anywhere you don't want to.
And I will just mention as the storyteller that while I'm really happy to send all three of you to this location, Lucius doesn't have to. We can kind of split focus a little bit. We've done it before, but sometimes it's more fun if everybody stays together. So, and I'm kind of interested to see Lucius be forced along on this. Abu, what do you think? Is he going to go with them? Is he going to help them?
He's going to go with them. He's going to help them, and he's going to keep. I don't know whether it's safe to keep Clara back. I think he's going to take Clara with him as well.
Great. I'm going to assume that Brad Lockwood has found a new ride for you guys. I mean, one thing he's good is lifting cars, and he can act as your driver. How would you like to approach? Now, this is Sheenley Park. It's a very large park in southern Pittsburgh, and it has been described to you now as it is now surrounded by high chain link fences. There are members of the United States National Guard all over the area. It looks like tents have been set up to process the itinerant population of Pittsburgh to keep them safe from the pandemic. This is an extreme pandemic response. There's also a semi-permanent structure that has been set up in the park, sort of a large hangar where transpo and operations can be conducted for this government operation, a joint operation between the National Guard. This is all in the news too. You would know all of this. The National Guard and the CDC and the Department of Homeland Security, oddly enough. So they are doing a joint task force operation here in the city of Pittsburgh. So let me know how
Craig
you
and Dylan just went to check it out. They're just kind of
all they wanted to do was kind of keep an eye on things. That's you know what I mean? Like go and take a look at it. See, you guys specifically told them, see if you see anybody we know there. Is what you told.
Okay, great. All right, then yeah, let's just try to act like regular civilians who are just kind of like being looky-loos down at the crazy military site. That doesn't sound too out of the ordinary.
Well, I'm going to stop you and say, what if they do something like check our temperature or see if we are actually human or not?
Oh, we can work our way around some of that. But I say we don't get too close. I'm not trying to get in or move through any cordons of soldiers.
Right. Just checking.
Before we leave, I'm assuming this tanning salon has some form of, and I'm not saying like fun time booze, but like alcohol, like isopropyl alcohol, something.
It does.
Okay. I just fed, so I'm going to take a swig of nasty 100 proof, whatever the hell alcohol they have, and see what happens.
It's poison, but not to you. So you know, Jen Brown, she gets drunk on poison now, apparently. And she drinks a big swig, and she can feel the chemicals interacting with the vitae in her system. Let's see, what did you feed on? An animal. Oh, okay. You have a point of animalism.
Does it matter that I fed on a man recently? Or is it just the last thing I fed on?
It's gonna kind of depend on the last thing you fed on often. Okay. And so now you have a point of animalism. And I can, if you want to try something with that, let me know. The first two powers of animalism allow you to bond an animal to you, or you can sense the beast in other vampires.
Okay.
The first dot, rather, not the first two dots. Okay, so I'm going to set a scene. Brad is driving you in this like, this like SUV that he lifted. It's like an old like Chevy Tahoe. He's like driving you around the perimeter, and like he keeps going shit, fuck, because they have all these streets shut down in the area, blocked off, and it looks kind of suspicious for him to suddenly hit the brakes and back up. So let's see how smart Brad is in terms of keeping it subtle with how he's driving around here.
I just had a thought, which this might be more effective if Curtis did it, but I wonder if there's I'm not entirely sure how animalism works, but if we basically charmed a crow or some sort of bird to like fly over the encampment and be our eyes for us.
This is some Assassin's Creed kind of level right now.
It's awesome, but we can't see through their eyes, though. Is that right?
You can't. It's not like warging. But I think it's so cool that Jen Brown thought of this right after she fed on an animal. And I want to bring in the fact that thin bloods, when they feed on different things, it changes their chemistry. And so I think that what happens is as you're driving, and by the way, Brad got one success, so he's just like barely like kept it subtle a couple times. And he's like, let me know where we're going, guys. Like,
the zoom in.
But I think that what happens is, Ashley, I think that you, Jen Brown's going to roll her charisma plus animal kin right now.
Sweet.
I don't have any animal kin.
So you'll just roll your charisma.
Okay. I don't get anything like a dot for blood alchemy or?
I'm going to allow it. Not thin blood alchemy, but just a temporary dot of animalism. So I'll allow you to have one extra die for that because you've just fed on this rat and you've kind of like given yourself kind of temporary animalism powers.
I'm gonna re-roll these other dice. I only got one success. So I'm gonna re-roll and hopefully. Okay, I got 2 successes.
Okay, so while you're driving, like Brad's like kind of like pulling over, and all of a sudden, this huge fucking nasty looking raven like slams down on the hood of the car and sits there like preening its feathers and making like a clicking sound on the hood of the car. What the fuck, man?
Brad, calm down. I'm gonna take out my phone. I'm gonna assume that at some point we probably got a picture of Dylan, right?
Absolutely, sure.
Or that Curtis has a picture of Craig.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show the bird the picture, and I'm gonna say, if you see either of these people, caw, basically caw.
There's Craig.
Caw time.
Yeah.
In succession, basically, if you see either of these people.
So just to be clear on what's happening in the scene, Jen Brown is holding up her cell phone to a crow.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think that it's actually like there is a sort of empathic connection between you and the animal. This is one of the ancient powers of the kindred that they have this kind of their beast, your beast, which is a baby beast because you are a thin blood. It still has this sort of thin, tenuous thread with the bird. You can kind of feel its nervousness and it's sort of like its energy and its metabolism. Like you can almost feel its like life force. It's kind of this jittery kind of vibe you have that suddenly takes you over emotionally. And when you show the bird those photos, it's not that the bird looks at them and it's like, oh, I'll recognize those people. It's like it gets the same sort of emotional state that you are in when you look at them. And then it takes off into the sky and is careening out over the camp. Do you guys want to wait for the bird to return or do you want to do something else?
I think we should.
What a question!
Personally,
wait for that bird.
I know it's strange, but I mean, you're mystical vampires with ancient blood that gives you supernatural powers, so that's strange too. It sounds like we're waiting for the bird unless someone has something else they'd like to try. Soon, and by soon I mean a while later, the bird suddenly clack clack you hear it on the hood of the SUV, and then it kind of lands on a lamppost right outside of outside of the car. Jen Brown, do you want to try to kind of communicate with it?
Yes.
You are not getting that emotional response that you get when you look at a photo of Craig or Dylan. You're not getting a recognition. You're not getting you're not getting recognition. It feels like you're not looking at them when you communicate with the bird.
I don't think they're here.
What?
I don't think they're here. But if they're not here, then where the fuck? Would I have ever, back in my my sort of dictatorial tech days, I put trackers on people. Would I have it just occurred to me, would I have put one on Dylan?
Wow. That's true. You used to do that. And ostensibly Dylan would have her device on her, right? That's how you were tracking people. So let's see if you're lucky enough that she kept it operational and never shut that off.
Probably should have thought of that before the whole bird thing, but
you're lucky. You remember that you can track her.
Okay. I would like to try to do that, I guess.
Right. You find a industrial kind of waste site way down river. Let me see which river.
Is it the same spot that Sabrina was watching? It's not, or is it?
It is no. It is a different spot.
Is it also connected to the sewer system?
It is. Well, do you want to do a little research on that?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So you take some time. You kind of Google. So Yeah, so this industrial waste site is a ways from Shenley Park. It's out toward Homestead. It's kind of down the Monongahela a bit, and the location you were thinking of going to was on the Allegheny River, the water treatment plant, and it looks like it's some kind of industrial waste site where various factories and stuff kind of carefully package their waste and kind of store it forever. So that is where Dylan's phone is.
What the fuck are they doing here?
Does it seem at all connected to? I know it's not physically connected to that waste or the water waste site that Sabrina was looking at, but is it in any way connected? Do I find any threads between?
Oh yes, so you said you were going to research. In theory, one could travel through Pittsburgh's various watershed tunnels and actually find a very complex, lengthy route from the Allegheny down to the Monongahela, and they would be quite close to this industrial waste site. Yes.
Fuck, I think. Are you saying they maybe got nabbed?
I think they might have.
Right.
No. All right. They're tracking water flow through that water plant that we were going to go to earlier. If the water level rises after a big rain or something, they're checking to make sure that happens. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we could find a way to flush those fucking pipes. Dump a bunch of water through them.
That's interesting.
That's really, really clever.
I'm gonna try to rack my brain. There aren't like water towers in Pittsburgh like there are in Texas or someplace, are there?
No, they probably don't have as many of those. Certainly there is something like that, somewhere in West Pennsylvania, but I'd say right here in the city, they have plenty of water. They get a lot of rain, and that's what causes these sort of overflows where the sewage and the rainwater sort of end up kind of mixing and overflowing into the rivers, and they are dropped out of these things called watersheds. But if you're thinking of a way to sabotage the whole system so that water overflows on purpose and flushing the tunnels, then the place to do that would be at the treatment plant that I mentioned earlier. Now, I want you to make one intelligence roll, each of you, and you can add science to it if you'd like, Lucius.
4 successes.
Oh, okay. I got
One
a total failure.
For Curtis, that's brilliant.
You realize that your storyteller said that something was downriver, but that these two things are not necessarily connected.
Right.
Right. So the waste disposal plant and the water treatment plant, they just happen to. This is the Three Rivers City, so it's not for certain that they are connected. That's all I'm going to let you know. Okay. But I think it's cool that we have an idea for how to flush out the tunnels if we want.
Yeah, that is cool.
Kind of, yeah. And I think I'll relay this back to the team as well. And I'll say, like, look, I think while we're here, we should use this time to look for your friends and be a bit clever about it before we go and flush anyone out. Is my suggestion.
All right.
Do we think? I mean, it must have been the Camarilla. I can't think of who else it could have been. Which means that space. I mean, it's a fucking trap, isn't it? They're expecting us to come get them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's.
Which is why I was thinking of making a watery diversion.
Huh.
If they've got to put out a fire, which in this case is water, somewhere else, then maybe they wouldn't have all their eyes on the two people they've given us as bait.
Of fire. I mean, this is a crazy idea, but could we possibly attract attention in in a way in which would attract the wrong attention, of course. But
You're
watch from
saying
afar.
trying to get the Inquisition?
Absolutely. Now, I don't know how that would put what, I mean, of course, if your friends are in there, then of course they are caught in the crossfire too. But I mean, who knows? They could be dead anyway.
Could I see if I've gotten any response back from that guy I was communicating with? Who I think is from the Inquisition?
Oh, right. The Father Forgive Me was his handle. You have not gotten any response. Did you just sent him a recent message? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this is what he did last time, is he was kind of cagey, so he hasn't answered yet.
Okay. Well, the Inquisition, I mean, are they posing as cops and firefight? Like, are they posing as, or are they actually, do we have any sense if they're actually entrenched in any of those organizations?
You don't know for sure, but I bet you, if you snuck a little closer, got a little closer look at this camp, you'd be able to figure some of that out.
Because if we wanted to do that, we could. I mean, if they are literally cops or they're literally firefighters that are doing double duty, we could call 911 and have them.
We get a missing person.
Yeah, say
But
something and point them to that sewage place. And
but if it's them, then we're calling them on themselves. You see?
Yeah.
if it is the Inquisition instead of the Camarilla.
So maybe we should actually go in and just try and maybe stealth it and try and have a look.
Well, I like the idea of the diversion of the water might get us either. If it's the Camarilla, they're going to be distracted. And if the Inquisition are part of the firefighters or whatever, they might also be distracted.
I think that I'm going to do a couple things as a storyteller now. I'm going to say that if we don't decide soon, I'm going to make something happen. And I'm also going to say that there's a couple plans that have been kind of laid out here. We need to choose one. One is to just get closer to this sort of makeshift camp that they've set up and see what you can find out. Another is to go to that water treatment plant and cause trouble, sabotage it and see if that distracts the Camarilla or brings them out of hiding. And then another third one that seems sort of like obvious, but we're worried it's a trap, is to go to that waste disposal site and look around there. So let me know which of those you think you're going to try. And I'll go ahead and let our NPC weigh in. She says, I mean, you all are like powerful vampires, right? I mean, why are you like shaking in your boots? Like, if she's at the waste place, let's just go there.
Right. True. She has a point.
Lucius can just mind whammy them, and then bang, we've got her. No problem.
Unless the Archon is there.
Yes.
And then what happens?
Then, well, we'll have to play it by ear, won't we?
Make an intelligence plus investigation roll. I need 2 successes. Jen Brown only.
Okay. 2 successes?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's just do a little willpower. Why don't we? 2 successes.
Very good. So Jen Brown, it stands to reason that the simplest solution is usually the one that is true. And it stands to reason that if Craig and Dylan were sneaking around this camp, that the people they got in trouble with were not the Camarilla. They were the Inquisition, right? If they were investigating the Inquisition, they possibly got in trouble with the Inquisition, if they are in trouble at all. So it is likely that the Camarilla it's a bit less likely that the Camarilla is responsible for their not returning.
I'm right in thinking that the Inquisition of course they don't like our kin, but they also, vampires, but they don't with humans and people. Well, Krieger is human, right? As is.
He is, and that's why you sent 2 humans. You sent 2 humans and you thought, okay, no problem. Like, they won't get like pinpointed as vampires. So, I mean, it was a smart plan. And I gave them, and in full disclosure, as your storyteller, I gave them a nice big dice pool to see how they did versus the Inquisition security measures. And that's all I'll say about that.
Okay. All right. Then with that bit of rationale knocking around in Jen's head and relayed to us, then all right. Then Camarilla diversion doesn't do anything. We could just try to slip in and assault, slip in, create some other kind of diversion, and try to get in and get out. But if they've got them, that means they're asking about us, and they're ready for us in some way.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Well, what time is it now, by the way, in our story?
I think that not much time has passed. We can say that it is only 10:30 in the evening.
Okay, so we could go scope it and still have a bit of time to make a move if we need to.
It's spring. You're not going to be looking at dawn until sometime around like 7.
Okay.
So you have a bit of time left. Are you going to go? So where do you say you're going to scope out the camp? The camp,
not the camp, the waste spot.
Waste spot.
Waste spot where Craig and Dylan are.
So you eventually Brad drives you to this spot. It's a terribly disheartening section of town. I mean, this is the Rust Belt, and nothing shows that off better than these sort of industrial parks that exist on the south side of the city, and just big cinder block buildings surrounded by more metal fencing, corrugated steel, and inside, who knows? Stacks of lumber in some places, and other places, they move rock, they move gravel, but you eventually come to a place that to be the location that you're looking for, and you can see that Dylan's phone is somewhere inside. Again, corrugated steel, big corrugated steel fence, big heavy padlocks and chains on the gate that someone would open to kind of take a truck in. And then there is, of course, also just a small building that acts as sort of the office or the place where they send out drivers or something like that, and it being 11 o'clock, it is closed for the evening, and the rest of the street around you is graffiti, garbage, and desolation.
Cool. I say we should find another way in. Just scope around the area, see if there's any other entrance in, and try and sneak our way in.
Seems good to me.
I don't suppose that Raven is still with me by any chance.
Well, certainly it is. You have bonded it to you as a familus, even though it is a temporary familus. So you notice as you arrive at the location that it's wheeling around in the sky above the and by the way, nobody else would notice because it's black on black in the sky, but you can kind of feel it up there, kind of wheeling around in the sky. If you guys are looking for an alternate entrance, then I will just have you make I think a wits plus survival roll, whoever would like to kind of like look for an alternate entrance.
Could I also see if I don't know if there are any windows or anything that the Raven could, because it knows what I'm looking for still. So if it could see if it can get any advantage inside of the building or around the building.
Sure. So actually, why don't you make a roll using your wits plus the dot of animalism you currently have? And for that, Raven, go ahead and add 2 more die.
I got 2 successes on that.
Let's see who does best.
Yeah, I didn't get any.
3 successes.
3. So it is actually Jen Brown who leads you up onto a wooded hillside, through some very heavy brush, back around behind the building to where this site kind of stretches, many yards, many acres out behind the building, to where the fence kind of looms up in the middle of all this brush and like and big like tall weeds, and there is a rip in the fence. Nobody knows about this. I mean, this doesn't look like it was cut by human hands. It looks like it's just natural wear and tear on their infrastructure here. This is definitely a very secret entrance.
Can I use my animalism to see if this seems like the kind of place where there might be a guard animal?
Okay, yeah, absolutely, you may.
Send it out to see if I feel anything?
Yeah. Your feral whispers, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I think that you would only need one success, so I'm going to just let you do it, Curtis. So you kind of feel out there, and you don't feel guard animals. You don't feel that kind of presence. In fact, I'm going to say, actually, I do want you to roll it to see if I can give you more information.
I got 3 successes.
Yeah, that's enough for me to tell you that you kind of feel a lack of life here. This is a despoiled piece of land. You know, they've been burying chemical waste here. So there's a significant lack of wildlife. It feels like a big empty space in sort of the red network you sense at all times with your animalism powers.
All right, then.
I'm going to send Clara to go back to the car with Brad, right?
And she's like, what? No, you need me.
No. Not in this place. There seems to be, from what I'm gathering, a feeling of lack of life. This idea of just get back in the car.
You can be our lookout.
Yes.
All right, I'll stay here at the fence.
No, back at the car.
All right, Luce. Jesus. She heads back.
Great. Now, I think we should go in.
Has the Raven seen any? Are there any windows or anything? Is there any place that we could see into the building without going in?
So what you're doing now is you're kind of going. You're entering through. This is your secret entrance, your back entrance. You're entering into a big open space that's sort of fenced in, and it's acres in size, to be honest with you, because what they have done is they have buried industrial waste, and when you look in, you see these big sort of mounds, and you should think kind of like a landfill, right? They're these big kind of nicely kind of like, tapered off kind of mounds that they've created, where they're just letting toxic chemicals seep into the earth very slowly. And there are many of those. So it would actually take quite a bit of walking to get all the way up to the front where the office is from here, but you can certainly start heading in that direction if you'd like.
Can I? Okay. Oh, go on. No, I was just going to ask Jen if her the app, the tracking app, if she can get any more information, if it kind of pinpoints a bit closer in regards to where they might be in this area, if it is further forward or near where we are.
On the ground or in the building?
Yeah.
It's in the, it looks like it's like on this side, which I mean, like we're on the far side from the building here. Mm-hmm. On this side, like, a couple 100 yards to the west of you.
And when we look that direction, we just see these mounds?
That's right. You just see more of these kind of mounds, and it's quiet. Like you don't hear any workmen doing any kind of work, or there's not even a lot of light back here.
And this is a place for burying things. So I think I'm just. Should we just keep a low profile and check it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. Why don't we if you're being stealthy, give me stealth rolls. If you would rather dispense with that and just run to the location of the phone, you can do that.
That's dexterity plus stealth?
Yeah, dexterity plus stealth.
What if, hypothetically, you have no stealth?
Then you're just going to roll your dexterity.
Oh, motherfucker.
I've got 5 successes, man. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just go on your back?
Yeah, literally.
I got 2.
You got 1?
2.
Ashley? Oh, you got 2, and then you got 1. Yeah. Well, that's enough that I can say that Jen Brown isn't like tripping and going, ow, like really. So you guys, you guys are kind of keeping down. You're kind of being quiet. You're not communicating. You're kind of communicating with like hand signals, and you move to a mound that you can see is in progress. It is not finished. It is very fresh, and you can see that there are a lot of like tracks from like big heavy trucks, and like you can even see that the kind of loaders and like construction equipment, soil movers that kind of help construct it. When they knock off for the day, they just leave them where they lay, kind of. They don't put them back in a central garage. So there's a big kind of earth mover right nearby, and you then find on the ground, sort of half covered in mud, Dylan's cell phone. And you can see nearby where, you know, the mound is sort of half finished, and it looks like they have buried some barrels and things, but they're not fully covered up yet.
We should probably
I'm gonna go over to one of the barrels. I mean, it looked like barrels big enough to hold a human.
Oh yeah, barrels big enough to hold a human. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just start. I think I'm now freaking out, and I'm not worrying about stealth anymore. And I'm just gonna start ripping lids off of barrels.
Okay, I think that you should give me a willpower roll, because Jen Brown, even though she's a thin blood, she does have the frenzy weakness, and it sounds like you're quite upset, Jen Brown.
Yes, and I don't have much willpower. Oh, I succeeded.
Okay, so Jen Brown, you don't quite become feral, but you are like immediately trying to rip the lids off of these barrels. And Curtis Krieger and Lucius Ali, is there anything that you'd like to do?
I'm like I've got my hand on my belt where my gun is, and I'm just scanning the as she's doing this and making all this racket. I'm looking across the expanse of this disposal site to see if I can see any movement. And but inside I'm just like, God damn it, I let him go. I sent him, and this happened to him. I'm
gonna go and help Jen in regards to searching from these barrels.
Okay, so you managed to pry one open, but it's going to take you a little bit. So actually, because moment to moment is becoming kind of important, can I get strength? And you can add athletics rolls for both of you, and let me know if combined you can get to like 6 successes, because it's not easy. They use tools to seal these things. And Curtis Krieger, it sounds like you're kind of looking at the rest of the site, looking for movement.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Okay,
right.
So Curtis Krieger, give me a wits plus investigation roll.
Okay. All right. 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, so Curtis Krieger, 2 successes is enough for you. You go a little deeper into the site, right? And you find a lot of footprints that are kind of like all over the place. Looks like people were like moving quickly. You know how to do these kind of things because this is the kind of stuff you looked for in Afghanistan sometimes. And so you can see where this leads, or where this, see if you can find out more about this altercation if you'd like. How did my friends pulling barrels open do?
So I got 2 successes, but can I add like willpower to that as well?
Oh, you know what you can do? So if you want, you can spend a willpower to re-roll all the dice that failed, or at any time you can make a rouse roll to see if you get hungrier, and then you can like add a point to your strength and like roll another die for your strength. You've made yourself stronger. You can also do that with your dexterity or even like your stamina sometimes.
Okay.
I only got 1 success. How many do we need?
You need 6 altogether. So it just means that this is still in process, right? You don't have to like pump your blood right now to make yourself. Usually people would do that in combat or when they're in big trouble. Maybe you guys are just really kind of
still really trying to get at this. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, Curtis Krieger, what is your action?
I'm following. First, I want to, with that investigation, I want to see. I mean, I think I know what kind of. Maybe this is a stretch, but if Craig was wearing like New Balance or like Adidas or whatever, might I recognize the pattern on the bottom of his shoes? Do any of these tracks?
Wow, that's amazing. Give me an intelligence plus investigation roll, and to recognize the pattern of Craig's shoes, I need 4 successes.
Okay.
It just feels like that is some real incredible detective work.
Yeah. 4, you say?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well. 2 successes.
Well, you're not able to discern the pattern of Craig's sneakers, but what you do find are shells from an automatic weapon. I mean, we're talking like an AR-15, like assault rifle.
Where do the tracks lead?
They're kind of moving into the center of the site where there are these mounds and things. And are you going to go a little farther?
A little farther, yeah.
Okay, so you move a little farther, and you can give me 1 wits plus I think it's alertness roll.
Oh God!
I don't see alertness. Is that
because I made that up? Awareness. Awareness. Meanwhile, Lucius and Jen finally pop the top off of this waste barrel, and inside you find a plastic bag with a very human shape.
Fuck.
I'm dragging it out and I'm opening it.
There is the burnt husk of a person. It looks completely charred, like they were in an inferno or blasted with a flamethrower. The skin is cracked. As you kind of pull out of the bag, like a piece of the body actually kind of comes apart. And if you'd like to determine who this was, it's not going to be easy. Lucius, you can roll intelligence plus medicine to get some kind of biological data on the person. And
Okay.
Jen Brown, you can roll a intelligence plus, I think just a straight up investigation to see if this is someone you know.
Okay.
Curtis Krieger, how did you do?
3 successes.
Curtis Krieger, you see out of one of the mounds the tips of fingers, gloved fingers.
Coming just like out of the dirt.
That's right. And it looks like this dirt has recently been disturbed as well, but in a different way. It doesn't look like they were systematically burying things. It looks like a bunch of dirt was pulled down on top of something.
Okay. What color is what is it? A work glove? Is it a fashion glove? Is it a cool fingerless glove?
A heavy work glove of some sort.
Okay. All right. I see if I can tug the glove off, revealing what's underneath. Is it just a glove sticking out of the dirt, or is there a hand under there?
There is a hand, and some of the dirt falls away, and you're looking at a man in a hazmat suit who's kind of been stuffed under some of the dirt. How did our rolls go, Jen Brown and Lucius Ali?
I got
Great.
5 successes.
Whoa.
Holy
Hey, I'm a
Christ.
doctor.
Yeah. How did you do, Jen Brown?
3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. So this body, Jen Brown, you recognize the almost white blonde hair that there's only kind of a strand or 2 of left. Lucius Ali, you determined that this was a female. She looks like approximate age was somewhere in her 20s, but you carefully examine the canines and say, this was kindred.
Do I recognize the hair?
You do.
And I tell you also that this was kindred. She's female. Seems to be in her 20s.
Wait. Does she... Hold on. Is this one of the blood dance gals?
It is. It's Laura, a vampire you've met. Lucius Ali. You're not missing much, except that this is a Camarilla vamp that these guys have encountered once or twice. So it looks like they're burying like the burnt remains of vampires here. And let's see. Yes. Okay, Curtis Krieger. So are you pulling this body out?
I'll pull I want to see if I can get the hood of the hazmat suit off.
Since you already rolled your animalism earlier, I'm going to say that it's kind of on during the scene, and suddenly you get like a big spike in your animalism, and you see at the top of the mound like this dirty old cat is just kind of watching you.
Okay. I want to whisper to it.
Okay, great.
And just have it like, come.
And it leaps down off of the mound and slinks away.
Okay, so that tells me someone else has control of it, perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go towards the pit where the phone is, by the way, and start looking and trying to, dig up whatever.
I'm gonna pick up the phone and start looking through it.
Great. So if you look through the phone, give me a wits plus technology roll, Jen Brown, to kind of see if you can find an interesting clue. And Lucius Ali, why don't you? So are you pulling out more of these barrels, or are you just looking for more?
Yeah, I think after I think I'm going to do that. I think if it seems to be more of vampire-y sort of stuff, I'm interested now.
Right. Okay. So Lucius, popping open another barrel, you find another plastic bag with another just completely charred corpse in it, and you realize that this is another female, African American. Looked like she had a kind of a large head of hair, and her body is like very badly burnt and charred.
But she looks very familiar.
She does. And you can also make right now an intelligence plus occult roll, Lucius, because you're going to determine whether these vamps are actually revivable or not, because they've taken an incredible amount of aggravated damage, but they have not been completely destroyed, obviously. Curtis Krieger, what do you want to do about your little situation?
All right. Is it possible for me to quickly remove the hood of this hazmat?
Absolutely.
I do so.
You're looking at a white male, early 40s, buzz cut, a bit of a studious look to the cast of his features.
Is he alive?
Oh, no. That's an important detail I should have given you. No, in fact, as you kind of pull more dirt off of him, you see several large bullet holes in his chest.
Huh. So there are vampires, and is there anything, any of the sort of like, I remember the only vampire hunter I've seen was covered in biblical like tattoos. Do I see any marks?
Oh, you're disrobing him. Are you disrobing him?
I don't want to make a big production of it, but maybe a zip down the back and see.
I want to focus just for a little bit on Curtis completely getting this guy naked. Slowly and sensuously. You kind of rip down his garments a little farther, and you do see like thus saith the Lord, kind of like on one like pectoral. It looks like he is branded as a member of the Second Inquisition. And meanwhile, Jen Brown, how did you do on your roll?
I got 3 successes.
Jen Brown, your 3 successes allow you to find that she opened a note last night. You know, the note program. And she only put 2 letters in it before she apparently stopped. RH. RH. She was apparently starting to spell something and wrote RH.
Does that ring any bells of anything? Is there any
intelligence plus politics roll?
Oh boy, do I have politics? Oh yeah, I do. Okay. Two successes?
There's only one person that you've known recently that both you and Dylan know, whose name is RH, and that is Rhodes.
Wait, Rhodes.
Rhodes is an anarch. He's a redneck.
Yes.
He likes to shoot. No. He likes to shoot people with an assault rifle, and he has a bunch of good old boys that like to help him do that.
Oh fuck!
Is he working with them? Okay, I think I've let go of this guy now, and am hustling back to the other two. It's like, I think a vampire might have just made us.
What do you mean?
I got 3 successes, by the way, in the last roll of finding if I could revive these people or not.
Oh, okay. 3 successes tells you that one of them, Lara, seems like it might be possible, but Misery is literally coming apart. Like she's just there's no structure inside of her anymore. But Lara, it doesn't look like she was completely destroyed. That there's a possibility if plenty of blood is applied that she will slowly begin a healing process.
Hey, if you guys could help me take this body out, we could probably revive it and ask it questions as to what the hell has happened over here.
Curtis, it's Lara. It's Lara and Mercy.
Lucius! Your sister is running across this industrial site toward you. Lucius!
Been made.
What are you doing here?
There's a truck coming in.
What?
A pickup truck. I don't know. You guys can see over the rises of these like kind of mounds. You see like headlights kind of shining from the front of the complex.
Quickly, help me take this body. We get out from the gate where we came from, and we'll wait for a bit. Could we see from where we were if we exited from the gate and like
got up on the hillside? Yeah, I could allow you to try that. You want to do that?
Yeah, sure.
Great.
All
Okay.
right. Yeah.
So you guys run and you kind of like you're dragging the body with you and you kind of climb up into the brush and kind of try to get a higher vantage point. And soon you're at a spot where you can kind of look over the fence and you're kind of like in among these high weeds and you see this big, Ford F-150 kind of come around the mound that you were all investigating. It's a big, beautiful new pickup truck. There's someone in the driver's seat, someone in the passenger seat, and like 3 guys with big old automatic rifles in the back. They're wearing red ball caps, and they've got a little American flag hanging from the back of their truck. And they are shining flashlights out around, and you can kind of hear them talking, but unless you use some kind of special senses, you can't really hear what they're saying. They're kind of shouting at each other about the fact that the mound has been disturbed.
It's fucking Rhodes.
Do we see anything else about, like, seems out of the ordinary about them?
They look well. Let's see. You got to tell me what you're going to use to see, notice more things about them. They're kind of far away now. You guys kind of, got to a kind of a hiding place where they couldn't easily see you. So let me know if you'd like to just watch them for a while. That's fine. You could do that.
Yeah, I think just watch. I'll play out. So Rhodes is a turbo redneck jagoff who was aligned with the anarchs that we were briefly leading, and he was always a loose cannon at the best of times. Always wanted to start shit and blow things up, and he has mortal companions who do his bidding, but they're all a bunch of good old boy weirdos.
So he's one of our kin.
He is, yeah.
He's an anarch. So
he never liked us too much, though.
No, he never liked you, and he was always causing trouble because he believes in shooting first and asking questions later. And you can see he's clear. You know what? That is one thing you notice. He's clearly in the back of the truck because remember, Rhodes is missing one arm. He's always got his sleeve kind of pinned up underneath, and you see him kind of use his free arm with his gun to kind of tell he's kind of motioning for his men to pan out to look around. And so now they're going to start looking, and I want to see how well hidden you guys are.
Fuck.
Is my sweet Raven boy? Is he still about?
Certainly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Remember, you can't really warg with it. You can't like see through its eyes, but you can kind of get a sense of things that it feels and yes. So that's.
Can I give it commands?
Yeah, you can. It's your familist for now.
Okay.
Okay. So I know how they're doing. I want you guys to make a stealth roll, but you had a little time. So I'm going to allow only one of you to make the stealth roll if you'd like. The person with maybe the best score. And I'm going to let you add 1 die to it to reflect the fact that you had a little time to get, into a good position.
I'm guessing that's Curtis, or maybe it's Lucius.
And
I have 0, so
dexterity is always what you add to that, right? So
yeah, dexterity plus stealth.
That's 6 pips for me.
Oh, great. Is that more than you have?
6 as well for me.
Oh, okay.
So it's either or. Who wants to be the stealth leader in this case?
I'll take a swing.
Go for it.
And you're rolling 7 dice because you did have a little bit of prep time to get in a good position.
5 successes.
Oh, you legend!
Oh, you crushed it. So it soon becomes clear that these guys aren't going to find you. They kind of like scan the hillside behind the compound and with their flashlights, and their flashlights pass right over you. But you guys are hunkered down in the weeds. And then you hear them like shouting at each other and moving back into the center of the compound.
Do we know how many people there are? Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
There are 5 people altogether.
5 people. We could take them. But anyway, sorry.
Could I have the Raven do a quick sweep to see if Dylan was with them?
Yeah, I can tell you that you saw the truck pretty clearly. I mean, you couldn't hear what they were saying. You couldn't definitely get everybody's identity from that distance. But yes, the Raven will confer that this is all men, all big, burly, strapping men in red ball caps plastered with memorable slogans. And none of them bear the marks of a gutter punk or a heroin addicted ex-army man.
Okay, I'm gonna maybe, if I can, whisper to both of these guys. Look, even if we revive Laura, she might be able to tell us about the Inquisitors that killed her, but we don't know what happened to Dylan and Craig still. Dylan saw Rhodes. He's the only one we have to her.
So, are you implying that we should go there and make ourselves acquainted?
I don't know, but
how did you leave it with this Rhodes man?
Not well.
Not well.
Great. Then I suggest that we should definitely make ourselves acquainted, and because we now have the drop on them and we know that they're there and they don't know that we're here, maybe you could use your crow friend to attract some attention, reduce the numbers possibly, and then we could have a talk.
Curtis, most of them are mortal.
Yeah.
Maybe you could call some backup.
We're in the woods. I mean, if that cat was sent by one of them, maybe, who knows? But yeah, I put or if one of us goes to talk with them where they can't tell how many more are with us. We're just saying full ambush, just try to take them out.
I think we can, because if it's mortals, if you're telling me that he has a group of mortals with him and there's only one vampire, I think we can handle them. I mean, the only thing I'm worried about is the fact that they have guns.
Yes.
And that's something that we should be worried of. But if we use the fact that we have your Raven who can distract a bit of attention here, of course, might be sacrificial. But I think if we pan it out really well, we could ambush them really well and possibly capture their leader and hold him hostage so that they don't do anything stupid.
Well, I just kind of look at you and I'm like, worth a try. and I send my I just try to call more critters, more capital critters.
Give me a feral whispers roll. I do believe that causes you to. Do you have to rouse the blood for that? I want to make sure we're keeping track of your hunger. Yeah, it does require a rouse check. So actually, I think you did it earlier. So I want 2 rouse checks from you now, Curtis.
Oh, no.
I mean, you got your hunger down, but then now it may be going back up.
I'm not hungrier.
Oh, good.
Great.
That's good.
That's good.
Charisma, and that's charisma plus animals. That's always just 4 dice for me, I guess, for now. Okay. All right. Success. 4 successes.
Hey.
So suddenly, to join Jen Brown's kind of raven, suddenly out of the woods behind you, caw, 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 like all of these like birds, I guess, awaken in their nests and just start flying down into the compound. Caw, 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 this big flock of birds, and they sort of descend over one of the mounds where you saw like the truck going and where the guys went to continue investigating. You see these birds like in the light from like the big industrial fluorescent lights that kind of monitor the place. You see these birds descend on where the people you're trying to ambush have gone, and you suddenly hear like yeah, these idiots are opening up on a flock of birds. Are you?
I just want them to I want it to be full Hitchcock. They're just creating a like cyclone of birds around them.
Absolutely.
Just have it be chaos. I feel like
they're like hitting the windshield of the truck. All that.
Curtis, you are Hitchcocking. Okay. So, are you? What is everybody doing now?
I think we should begin sprinting down there. I tell Clara to keep watch here, and I say that let's just sprint in. Let's just go in while they're distracted.
Okay, great. I want a sprint roll. This is going to be like, instead of like sneaking to get the jump on somebody, it's like you guys are coming out of nowhere like so fast that they're not expecting you. And that is how you're surprising them. But you're going to get extra dice, and you're going to get them because Curtis has so well set up set up this Hitchcock situation. So everybody can give me a dexterity plus athletics roll, and each person can add, I'm going to give you half of what the number of successes that Curtis got. So you can add 2 dice to the roll because you are getting the jump on them. They're distracted by these birds.
Okay. I've got a possible messy crit.
I love that. I'll tell you what that means in a second.
Because it's okay.
I got 5 successes.
Whoa!
Oh, and how did you do, Jen Brown?
Wah wah.
Okay. Well, at least it's not our friend. At least it's not our friend total failure, Jen Brown. Okay, so a messy critical. It means that as you're sprinting toward these guys, Lucius, your beast awakens inside of you, and it sort of takes you over, and it's not enough now. It's not enough to just ambush them. You have to completely dominate them like a predator would dominate its prey. And so I ask you, I'm going to let you take out one of these guys without any further rolls because you have messy critted your ambush of them. And I want you to narrate what you do to him. And let me just tell you, seeing through a red haze as you arrive in sort of like this kind of area where they are flanked on like 4 sides by these big mounds with like rows in between where big enough for construction equipment to drive through. That's kind of the area you're in. You're in kind of this open space between these like waste mounds, and their pickup truck is kind of diagonally kind of parked in the center. It's still idling. The driver is still in it, and the others are all armed, and they're firing at birds that have kind of like flown down and are kind of perched on the different mounds. And there are 4 of those others, all armed. One of whom you know to be their captain, their commander, Rhodes, who's missing an arm. And so I would like you to tell me who. I'm going to let you take out one of them automatically with your messy critical. Tell me what you do.
And it isn't, and it can't. Okay, can it even be Rhodes, or is it different with Rhodes because he's a vamp?
So with Rhodes, since he's a vamp, I'm going to give him. No, it's a messy critical. Yes, it can be.
Okay, I'm gonna literally I'm gonna run and tackle Rhodes. I'm gonna get him, and I'm gonna like go for the head, and just go put my hand like right here in the drawer, and just go to rip like King Kong does to the freaking T-Rex, and I'm just in a different space.
Very good. So I think that you need to go ahead and give me a rouse roll, because I think you pump your strength once to do that, like by instinct, and that you also can then give me a strength plus brawl roll. But don't worry about it can't really fail. We're just kind of seeing like how much damage you've done in this first round. And
so how do I do a rouse roll?
You just roll 1, and if it comes up less than 6, you get hungrier.
Okay, so yeah, I got one. I got 1 success.
Okay, so you're okay. You don't get hungrier, and now I want you to roll 3 strength because you've pumped up your strength by 1 with your blood, plus the 1 brawl. So roll 4 dice for your attack. And Curtis Krieger, 5 successes means that you also get to do whatever you like, but you can be a little bit more strategic. So but I think 5 successes means you catch one of these guys like flat-footed, and you can do whatever you like to him. So please tell me what you're going to do.
Okay, great. So they're just all like laid out around truck.
Yeah, they're all in like different points of the compass, firing at birds. Yeah, like idiots.
Great. Okay, cool. So just imagine this was for sprinting speed, right? So just imagine from the perspective of guy here, like shooting at these birds, and then as he swings around, suddenly his hand just like hits my hand, and I'm like, dang. and then the feral weapons just like come up underneath his jaw.
Oh, amazing!
Oh my God.
Okay, so give me a rouse roll because feral weapons requires that. See if you get hungrier, and then as your claws like come up, you're just gonna I'm just gonna allow the attack to automatically succeed because your ambush was so good. I just want a damage roll from you.
Oh,
we lost your sound somehow, Mr. Bryant.
we can't.
Mike is nuts.
Your mic. He's saying his mic is nuts.
Try again.
Don't worry. We only have 15 minutes of show left, and Ross can just hold up different signs telling us what he's doing at any given time. Oh no. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Suddenly it was just like full on noise music, just static blasting out of my headphones. I have no idea why.
That's okay. So, how did you do on your attack? What did you do? And remember, you add for your feral weapons, I believe, right? Let me see.
Yeah. So is that strength plus brawl plus?
Yeah,
weapon?
I want strength plus brawl. You can choose whether you have pumped up your blood, and you're only adding +2 to your brawl damage, and you're doing aggravated damage. So, let's roll the attack and let's see how you do. This guy gets no defense because you caught him off guard.
So it's strength plus brawl plus the weapons?
Nope, just strength plus brawl right now. And we're going to add the damage after the fact.
Excellent.
You're going to absolutely
4 successes.
4 successes. So then +2. So you just did 6 aggravated damage to this guy. And I'm going to say he's one of the mortal followers of Rhodes, and your claws come up and you just rip him open, like you slit him open with your claws. Lucius, how did your attack roll go?
4 successes.
I can't believe that. But that's fine. Lucius, you have broken off Rhodes's jaw, and he can come back from that because he's a vampire, but you've definitely put him out of commission for the next round. Okay. And now Jen Brown, what would you like to do as you run into the clearing? There are 3 more targets, but one is kind of protected by the cab of the truck. They're inside the cab of the truck.
I'm assuming that Curtis completely eviscerating that dude made him drop his weapon.
That's correct.
Okay. I'm going to pick up his weapon. I'm going to point at the other guys, and I'm going to try to use dominate to get them to lay down arms.
Okay, great. Do it. You always have access to a little bit of dominate as long as because that's one of the things that your character, as long as you imbibe the phlegmatic blood. But you know what? Lately, you've been imbibing animal blood, haven't you? Yes. But I think that I did read this correctly in the rules and maybe our secret storyteller Clinton Trucks can confirm or deny. Thin Bloods do have 1 dot of disciplines that are outside of what is controlled by their feeding. And we've given you dominate, compel. So that works. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do it. I'm ruling. If someone wants to come in and correct me, they can, but I'm saying you can try it. So your dominate roll, do you know what that is? That is going to be charisma plus dominate.
Great. Okay. Let's see.
Oh, and by the way, add 3 dice to it because your 2 companions have just blitzkrieged these guys.
I love it. Really? Okay, I'm redoing that. That was such a big dice pool, and that was such an embarrassing result. 1 second. Okay, 4 successes.
Okay, so that's enough to cover everyone. So Jen Brown.
I'm gonna yell, throw down your weapons and get on your knees, and have them do that.
The truck door opens and it's actually a woman in the truck. And she falls to her knees, and you can tell that she is kindred when you look at her. She's like big and burly, and there's actually a cat in the truck behind her that comes like slinking out behind her. She falls to her knees and it like puts her hands on her head. Rhodes and the guy that was just attacked by Curtis, they really can't get on their knees or anything, but the other people are like doing as you tell them to do.
Okay, I feel like we should just start tying them up, maybe.
Well, yeah.
Or I mean, it's kind of up to you guys. You could just.
Well, I'm gonna say we only need one, so do what you want for the rest of them.
They're now.
Yeah.
So it's 2 vamps and now 1 mortal, 2 mortals.
You killed a mortal completely. There's a mortal who's like getting down on his knees and surrendering. We said there are 5 guys altogether. There is a mortal, there are 2 mortals who are kind of getting on their knees and surrendering. You killed one of the mortals, and then there's the female vamp and Rhodes. And Rhodes is so blitzkrieg by ripping his jaw off that you can kind of, I'm gonna say combat is over. You guys, look in Vampire, we often will say 3, 2, done. And that combat is over, right? Like, you guys got the jump on these guys successfully, and so now let's cut to you've tied them up. Let's go forward to that. And Rhodes is like, his like jaw is hanging off where Lucius like ripped it off. But Lucius, I actually, while you're tying these guys up, I want you to make a willpower roll for me, my friend.
Okay. So I just add the willpower dots in my thing, right?
That's right.
So, okay, that's because I've got 7 black squares. No, 7 black squares. Is that 7 then that I roll?
Oh, wow. Could you have it? It could be that high. Let me make sure. I have your sheet open right here. Composure plus your resolve. Why? You shouldn't have 7. You should have, it looks like 6.
Okay.
So
he gained 1 in character creation, but he has spent willpower, so he shouldn't be rolling from the full pool.
He should not be rolling from the full pool. He should be rolling from wherever it is at now. I bet we don't remember how much you've spent, my friend Lucius. So guess what? I'm just going to go ahead and decide. I'm going to say you're down to 5.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I roll 5 then.
Mm-hmm.
2 successes.
Okay, so you find your beast is really awake now. I mean, it's like extremely like hungry. Your hunger though is still at like what, 2?
Yeah.
1? Okay, so you can control yourself, and your willpower allows you to control yourself. So I'll leave it at that. Okay?
I'm gonna just keep staring at the female vamp.
She's the only one with the power of speech at the moment.
There's the 2 mortals as well, right?
And I'm just gonna say, one of you ask her a question quickly.
Yeah. Okay. And we don't recognize her?
You don't.
Uh-huh.
Why is she breathing? She doesn't breathe.
I'm gonna show the picture of Dylan. Where is she?
She's joined us.
What the fuck does that mean? She's joined us. What about her companion?
It means she's an anarch now. We're going to give her the gift. And she is going to join the great anarch army. And Rhodes goes, she's like, shut up, motherfucker. I'm in charge of this negotiation. You better let us free, or we will bring down the full power of the Anarch army upon you.
Is there anything that resembles a stake in the mound next to me?
Let's see. I'm afraid not. There's nothing that's clearly a stake, but there's plenty of like big, heavy cinder blocks, like, heavy things you could hurt someone with.
I'm going to slowly walk up to her and be like, where did you find Dylan?
She was investigating our little booby trap here. We got us a nice little ambush. The Inquisition come in to bury their bodies, but we bury them instead. And that's when Rhodes is like, and she's like, shut up, I'm handling this.
So this is an Inquisition base, and you were so clever enough to trick them into your own little ambush here with your anarchist army.
That's right. Next time a truck comes through, we're going to kill more of those Inquisition boys. And soon the Anarchs are going to rule Pittsburgh. So I'm going to ask you right now, do you want to join the Anarch movement?
How many of you are there?
I wasn't talking to you, Mr. London, Mr. I see London, I see France. I was talking to these two. Are you ready to join? Actually, I'm only talking to the man. Yeah, I'm only talking to you, Curtis Krieger. That's right. I know your fucking name.
And I don't know yours. Who do I have the pleasure of talking to?
My name's Deb.
I got a question for you then.
Big Deb.
I mean, it sounds pretty inviting. How you got a good operation? How many strong?
Look at my fucking jacket to find how fucking strong we are, motherfucker. And you see that she's put a bunch of patches on this old military jacket. And there's all these like little skulls and crossbone patches that she's put on the back. She's like, that's how many Inquisition motherfuckers I killed.
What about the guy who was with Dylan?
Yeah, he's joined us too. And soon we're going to give them both the gift, and they will join us, and we will be glorious, immortal Americans carrying the great American way forward thousands of years, the way the founding fathers intended.
Yeah, oh my God. Where are they right now?
Suddenly you hear a very similar accent shout at you from around the bend and go, hey, Kurt. It's Brad. He's like, there's another truck coming in here.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Let us free. Let us free. It's the Inquisition. Let us free. Come on.
I think we should I think we should kill them, because otherwise they're going to give our position away. I think we should, if we can, I think we should take Rhodes. And we should just literally, I think you guys should take Rhodes away while I deal with Deb.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Deb might be more amenable to answering our questions than Rhodes, if we're thinking of keeping Rhodes for interrogation. But
and now instead of the players talking, because time is of the essence, let's say that the characters are talking. So you guys are kind of fighting like quickly, like, wait, who do we take? No, Lucius is like, take him. So let's resolve this somehow. What does everybody want to do? And then we can have a roll to resolve it. Or maybe you all agree once you've all said your piece. I think we've heard Lucius. Take Rhodes with you and then leave the rest to me. Curtis Krieger, what is he advocating for? Or is he doing the Curtis Krieger thing where he listens to both sides?
Curtis just wants to suck one of the mortals dry. And I want to know where Craig is.
Great. So
but yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. Grab him and go. Grab the person who can tell us where the hell they are and go. If that's Deb, then that's Deb.
Okay, so Curtis, I'm hearing a little ambiguity. All Curtis knows for sure is that he wants to feed, and he'll follow the lead of one of his two leaders here. And so, Jen Brown, what are you advocating right now?
I say we grab Deb because Rhodes fucking hates us, and grab Deb and Immortal Bale. That's what I think.
All right. Do you take Deb, take Immortal? I'm going to deal with Rhodes.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So here's what I want. This doesn't seem easy. If you're dragging a body away, tell me right now. Who's dragging Rhodes? No, I'm sorry, Deb. Who's dragging Deb? That's who you decided to take away.
Okay, I guess that would be me.
Okay, great. So I just want, let's see, you're kind of taking a prisoner. What is a great taking a prisoner way of working? I think that was going to be a strength plus intimidation to kind of keep her in line and keep her moving the way you want her to, because she's screaming, no, let us free, let us fight. So you give me that. Jen Brown, what are you doing? Are you taking any prisoners, or are you just running with Curtis?
I think we talked about bringing Immortal as well. Does my dominate still work? Are they
as a snack? Your dominate is still in effect. So would you? I mean, it's you have to make another dominate roll. Basically, you have to compel again. Do you want to do that?
I'd like to try.
I think you should give me another dominate roll. And so they head off with a mortal, and with Deb, you see lights kind of coming on in the front of the compound. Lucius Ali, what are you going to do?
I'm going to feed.
On who?
Rhodes.
Lucius Ali grabs Rhodes, and I want you to just describe what you do, Lucius.
I see the jaw and I see the blood that pours down him, and I go to almost kiss him. But as I do, I bite down into his mouth and pull his head away, and also bite into his neck.
Oh my God!
Straight from the tap.
And that's where we're going to end for today.
Yeah.
All I want to know is, so I can make a note, how did your roll go, Curtis Krieger?
One success. That's after spending willpower.
And how did your roll go? How did your roll go, Jen Brown?
One success.
All right, I'll remember that for when we meet next
God.
time. Wow. So quite a cliffhanger. Quite a cliffhanger. I think that we've learned something about Lucius Ali.
We have.
We found out that our friends Dylan and Craig may be in danger of receiving the great gift that you all are surviving with. And I'll have so many questions to ask you next time, but for now, I just want to say that was horrifying. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So fun.
That was great. That was
another
great.
insane episode. Thank you, Abu Salim, Ashley Burch, and Ross Bryant. Be sure to check out Ross's video this week, how to make an RPG character. Follow these guys on all their socials. Tell them how much you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see them again very soon. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I always hate saying goodbye. I just want to hang out with everybody. But it is midnight where Abu is, so he should probably go off to bed. Guys, I didn't know what was going to happen this episode, and I always say this, but I really believe in no plot armor, very open-ended scenarios. I sort of know what's going on in the city, and then I find out what our characters do, and they surprised me yet again this time. So I want to thank them one more time. Please let them know how much you enjoyed it. And when we come back, we're going to ask some very specific questions to Lucius Ali about what he's doing to this other vampire. Guys, next week, our Vampires of Pittsburgh will be a special charity episode at 2 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday, December 20th. We will be part of the World of Darkness Family Holiday, a charity streaming marathon with direct relief for COVID-19 efforts. It's quite possible there will be some ruthless and inquisitive guest stars, so please tune in live to donate to a great cause and find out. Stream of Blood isn't running any midweek games this week, but as I mentioned, you can check out Ross's video, How to RPG. It's part of our How to RPG series. It's how to make a great RPG character. and that will be available on Tuesday. We'll have more of these to come. We've got all kinds of those videos that we're going to start churning out, and we're going to involve our subscribers. The one I did, the one I recorded, we're going to talk to our subscribers a little bit. So if you would like to be a part of some of this stuff, some of the things we're doing in the community, you should be sure to subscribe to the Stream of Blood. Stream of Blood is also a podcast. Please find it on the podcatcher of your choice. Subscribe and give us a rating. Let us know what you think. We are currently posting audio episodes of Vampires of Pittsburgh and the Neptune Society, our Call of Cthulhu series. We would love it if you would spread the word about the Stream of Blood, and you can do that by following us on Twitch, subscribing for special emotes and benefits. We're on Instagram and Twitter. We are also on Reddit at r/Stream of Blood, and we even have a Facebook group. Join all those things. Tell your friends. Repost the things we post. Let them know that there is a new gaming stream in town, and it's bloody good. Okay. If there are any questions or comments, you can shoot them through now, but I am going to go ahead and do our final credits. Our original artwork, all of those beautiful character portraits you saw are by Will Pottorff. Pottorff is how you spell his name. You can find him at willpottorff.com or on his Instagram. Ross Bryant does a lot of our artwork as well, the guy that just played Curtis, and you can find his stuff at RossBB on Instagram. And that original music I mentioned at the top of the show is by Axel Kazis Taylor. I want to say special thank you to my producers and partners, Brian Baldinger and Clinton Trucks. Our social media manager, Megan Arch, thank you so much. Our logo is created by Garrett Ross, and our opening animation is by our friend Andrew Orvidal. And that's it. Wow. Oof, that took it out of me. I feel like I've had my blood sucked. Horror Christmas movie recommendations. This is just off the top of my head. I quite liked Krampus. And I don't think a lot of people saw it when it came out. Hey, I think it's got Toni Collette. I mean, you're really not in a bad movie situation if you've got a Toni Collette performance, are you? So I would check out Krampus if I were you, because it's like, I recommend it as a horror movie because it's also like a fun horror movie. It's not like this will make you feel empty inside. Who's ready to see people get cut? It's not that kind of horror movie like a Black Christmas might be. It's a feel good. It's a romp. It's a supernatural romp. So check out Krampus, which came out a couple of years ago. Season just seems so much darker. Did you use Hunter for the IOP inspiration? Inquisitors of Pittsburgh inspiration? Sure, I sure did. I absolutely sure did. Hunter, the Vigil, is a game that I think is amazing, that I've actually never gotten to play, that I've probably read through 10 times. I did play way back in the day when I was in college. I played Hunter the Reckoning. I had a pretty decent chronicle of Hunter the Reckoning, but I've never gotten to play Hunter the Vigil. I love those games. I can't wait for the new Vampire book that's coming out, because it's going to give mortal rules, and I'm hoping maybe there are some Hunter rules in that. We haven't gotten to see it yet, or at least I haven't. Maybe it's already out, but I'm going to be researching that very soon. I actually, when I was researching to create the Inquisitors of Pittsburgh, I went back all the way to the Hunters Hunted from the old White Wolf days to get a little bit of inspiration as well. All right, that's been our stream today. We love having you guys join us. Thanks again to Abu, Ashley, and Ross. Until next time, get pink. Bye-bye.